This is Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. Minus Muff.
Ka-chow.
Tonight, I am the captain of the rudderless ship, at least
tell.
in all things technology. I am joined today by the other namesake, Jim.
Yeah. Hello.
I am joined by his friend who is here to support him, Nemi.
What's up, guys?
And our guru of officiating, Nate.
Sorry in
Read his
advance.
name?
We gotta go quickly. We only got Nate for 40 minutes?
40
Something
minutes,
like
that's
that.
a Move.
We have to work.
Especially with Alex at the helm now. Who knows if the technical difficulty is going to be better or worse?
Yeah, maybe without Muff, it'll go a lot quicker this time.
If it's better, I'm just saying that we might have found our common problem. So we're joined with Nemi on the regular show. He's helping us to fill in the void that Muff has left in our hearts. He is doing the Lord's work and serving stressed out college children breakfast at midnight. Really, by midnight, we mean 9 to 11.
Wow. Well, he could have been on for 30 minutes. What the heck?
His commitment's questionable.
He needs to go live.
Yeah,
from
his phone.
He should do live interviews from the cafeteria.
I mean, I was at a hockey game.
I see. Yeah, Jim did it from a hockey game. Fucking
Sure.
eight drinks down. He was having fun with it.
Are we questioning Muff's commitment?
I am.
I think so.
Muff might come kill us all individually.
Moving on.
I've questioned many things, but never Muff's commitment to life.
Yeah.
All right. So today is Monday, December 8th, and the College Football Playoff Committee has spoken. We will get into that. Thank you to all those interacting with our content on social media, and make sure you catch us on YouTube. Shout out to any new listeners. Thank you for your support and keep helping grow the podcast. If you haven't liked or subscribed on YouTube, get in on that action, and we'll give away some merch at 100 subscribers. We'll give away, what is it?
Prizes?
Stuff.
Prizes. So you just have to comment, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on. You're not good at this.
Ding ding.
Ding, ding. I'm not doing it good. I'm trying my best to be Muff.
Where's your energy?
I thought I had a lot of energy.
We know
Actually,
energy.
it's gone. So, all right. Well, we will jump right into the lead off, starting with Penn State has finally hired a coach. Yay!
Yay!
That was their 12th try at one? Finally got one?
Yep.
Yes, Penn State has hired Iowa State's Matt Campbell. Big 12 thievery. Program retains Terry Smith and becomes the highest paid non-coordinator in college football. Muff's thoughts are listed here. I'll read those first, and then we'll go around the horn.
Why do we care? Why do we care what Muff
It's
thinks?
his team, damn it.
Best they could have
You
done
should
at
be
this
here.
point in the game. There are reports that PSU AD attempted to reach out to who he thought was Campbell's agent, but found it wasn't the right person, and the message was never delivered.
That is
Baseball.
actually real, and that is insane. That is not even that is something you think you'd make up on a fiction movie.
May have been the guy all along, excited for what he can do with PSU resources after doing more with at Iowa State, in all capitals, we are, ...
He got a guy with one more win than James Franklin and couldn't win the big games. It's like James Franklin 2.0.
But could you imagine, though, with that, trying to reach out to him and you got the wrong guy? And what if he had signed somewhere else? And then this news broke.
Yeah, Campbell wasn't going anywhere. That guy was locked into Iowa State until all the millions came flying his way, and then he was like, all right, sure, yeah, I guess I'll make a change. Why not? I didn't think he was ever leaving there. Didn't NFL teams try to get him 2-3 years ago too? And he was not budging.
Yep.
And then Penn State comes calling, and now he's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. I don't know. Seems weird, but.
Well, and they hired his replacement once he went to Penn State really quick.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
almost
they
like it
got
was
lined up.
being done in the background or something that fast.
Yeah.
I heard
So it intercepted the missing call.
I heard that story that we just told is bullshit. I heard that this has been always in the works, and that's why they had a replacement ready to go. I heard
That-
they called him. He said, "I don't talk until the season's over." So they waited. They gave some of these bullshit interviews, these 12 interviews, and just as like because they had to, waited for the season to be over, called him, and he was like, "Yeah, let's go."
If
So
he
all the
goes,
other rumors were all bullshit then?
That's what I heard. I heard this whole thing's been planned since the moment they said go to Franklin.
Maybe. The fact that Iowa State hired a guy so fast makes me think that that's definitely possible.
I think they had it all lined up.
if he truly said he wasn't talking to anyone until the season was over, I have respect for that as the old man on the porch.
Yeah, if that story is legitimate, I'm kind of cool with it. I don't think his record warrants him getting the job, but whatever.
Would be the total opposite of Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other comments on Penn State's hiring?
I mean, it salvaged the rest of their bullshit.
Enjoy their 7 wins next year.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. USF has hired Ohio State's offensive coordinator, Brian Hartline. Ohio homers, take it away.
I'll let Jim go. He said he wanted a day to sleep on it. Here's his day. Go.
It's a good hire for them. A very good hire for them. I think overall, it's for Ohio State, it's okay. And it's only okay because we salvaged the recruiting issues that we'll talk about here later. I think, and we'll talk about the Big Ten championship too. I don't think that it's a major loss. It's a loss, but not a major loss. I think who we replace him with is a bigger issue for me. I've heard Chip Kelly doesn't want to come back, which is sad. I've heard that Dalbo, whatever his name from the Giants, Ryan Day's looking at, which is upsetting. I'm glad Muff isn't on the show to give me shit for that. I don't know. I've heard Braxton Miller. I've heard who's the other former quarterback from Ohio State?
Barrett? Why wouldn't the co-OC just slide in as full time?
I don't think it's a name thing. I think they want somebody who's a big name to make waves in the recruiting cycle.
Yeah. I'd say my quick thoughts, I don't have any in-depth thoughts like Jim, but I think recruiting is going to take a massive hit. I don't know how good of an X's and O's guy Hartline really is. I do kind of know that he's a really, really good recruiter. So I don't really care about the X's and O's parts and the play calling and all that and the play designs. I don't think that's a problem. Ryan Day can figure that stuff out with a co-OC or whatever. But the recruiting part, I think, is going to take a massive hit. Look at Henry. He almost decommitted once Hartline was leaving. I don't know what or why, but I guess Ryan he made the decision to come back or to stay committed to Ohio State, which is obviously great. But I'm kind of scared with the future holds for Ryan Day and recruiting when Hartline was a massive part of that.
I am the exact opposite for a lot of reasons. I think the Indiana game, the X's and O's are a big issue. I'm not sure Hartline was as heavy-handed in the X's and O's as we think. I think recruiting Henry coming and staying with his commitment, I think the name value will always be there for Ohio State. I actually think the money will always be there for Ohio State. I don't think recruiting is going to be an issue yet.
Then why when he almost decommitted did he say
he was chasing the bag?
Because why? Oh, chasing the bag. Oh, okay.
He was chasing the bag. I mean, there were so many offers, and they're still leaking out. There's, Oregon was throwing dollars, USC was throwing dollars,
Texas,
Lane was throwing dollars.
Texas too. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he was out there seeing what he could get versus what he had. So
yeah, I'm the opposite. I just think Hartline's more of a recruiter and not as good of an OC. But again, we'll see how he does at South Florida. If he gets a bunch of 4 stars and maybe a 5-star too, and then how good they run their offense.
I think USF is going to be a powerhouse for what they
Think-
are.
Think about
Within
like
how many years?
What's that, Nate?
Within how many years do you think, Jim? 2?
2 years.
You can flip college football teams around like in a snap of a finger nowadays.
Yeah, they're
so.
not a shit team now.
No. So, like, why is South Florida perfect, in my opinion? He already recruits down there, 1. 2, you automatically make a group of 5 team automatically makes a playoff every year. So all you have to do is be the best of we'll call it the worst, I guess.
Yeah.
And he can get 5-star talent at a non-power 5 school. So that's literally the perfect fit for him. And he's interviewed for, I don't know, Jim, 5 to 6 different head coaching positions probably in the last 2 years. And this is the one that literally fits perfectly. So good
He
for him.
also played for the
taking
Miami
it.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm pretty sure he's probably got a house down there.
Well, and outside of the University of Miami, none of these Florida schools are top-notch programs right now.
Yep.
Correct. Florida State, no. Florida, no. So, yeah.
All right. In other news, Joey Chestnut eats 242 wings in 10 minutes as part of Big Ten Fan Fest. Muff poses a question here. How many could you eat in 10 minutes?
36. I've done it.
Wow.
It wasn't a great time.
I was going to say like 20 for me.
I was going to say no more than 2 dozen. That'd be my absolute max.
In 10 minutes, I think I could eat like 12.
Yeah. I have to be really fucking hungry and haven't eaten in like a day and a half, and maybe I could eat like 20. But even when I get wings, like on the couch watching football, I'm like, dude, I need 18 wings. And after 12, I'm like, okay, like I'm kind of bored and I don't really want anymore, even though my mind was like, you want 18 wings. So I couldn't probably eat more than 20.
Jim, when did you eat 36 wings in 10 minutes?
At the peak of wrestling season.
Ah.
So, like, obviously I had fasted and it was a thing. And again, I threw those up. But yeah, it was not fun. I don't recommend it. It's not a good time.
Muff feels that he could eat 25.
Now, I pose a follow-up question to this. For as many wings as you would have to do in 10 minutes, are you doing traditional buffalo wing or are you doing a different flavored wing?
I did buffalo.
I'd probably do a lightly sauced barbecue. Not doused.
I always go for like a spicy ranch. So you get the buffalo flavor with a little bit of a
Yeah, I like that ranchero.
Yeah.
Where do you go for your wings?
Drovers.
Well, Drovers is good, but there's a lot of good wing places around.
All right, but where is your spot?
I don't really have a spot right now. Just like I don't often go be like, oh, I really want wings. I'm gonna go get wings. It's just like I'll be somewhere and be like, they have good wings here. I'm kind of feeling wings.
You don't go to the 19th hole? Or what about pickles?
They have good wings.
Both of those are good.
I've had pickles. I don't think I've ever been the 19th hole though.
Columbus is, and I'm gonna get canceled for this. Columbus is not good at wings. They're just
Flip that, Alex.
Yeah,
they're not.
Not a Roosters, Jim. Not a Roosters guy.
They're good. They're you know what I mean. But Wheeling, like, take me to Wheeling compared to Roosters.
Wow, never thought I'd hear you say that about much.
I would say the same thing. Wheeling wings are like better than wings I have up here because the wings up here are so diluted. Everything's kind of the same, and there's so many different options. Wheeling, you got like 4 or 5 options, and they're all pretty good.
Now, I went to North Carolina for Thanksgiving. Had a place called Winging It. Great wings. But I feel like Columbus tainted me because like I'm not real thrilled with Columbus wings.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that was your food talk with sports stuff with Jim and Muff.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move into the college football world, review some of these games from the NCAA Conference Championship weekend. We will start in the Sun Belt. So Sun Belt Conference Championship was number 25 James Madison versus Troy. James Madison wins 31-14.
Troy
I did not.
was shit.
Yeah, I did not watch this
I
game.
did.
It was close. It was close for a lot of the game, and then James Madison kind of pulled away at the end.
Troy was poop. They just didn't look good.
In the American Conference, we had number 24 North Texas take on number 20 Tulane. Tulane walks away with a win, 34-21, in what is North Texas's last game before the Neil Brown era begins. T's and P's, North Texas. I hope you all just have fun. I'm sorry you didn't win. You probably won't for a while.
But they might have. Go ahead,
He's a
Nate.
really
Sorry.
nice guy.
They got to trust the climate in North Texas.
Ugh. God, good riddance.
So pretty much North Texas is going to have a decent roster, but just never win.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's going to be okay because they're going to have fun in the parking lot during their tailgates, and he'll be really nice, and that's all great.
And he'll get some recruits, and they still won't win.
Yeah. I mean, after his performance at WVU, I wonder if his recruiting stock goes down. If people are like, "Yeah, I saw what you did there, and it wasn't great. Don't think you're going to do much better in North Texas."
Yeah. Tulane basically was up the entire game. I think they were up double digits for a lot of the game. So they definitely deserve to be in the college football playoff, and good luck to them. And I think they're going to get smoked, but we'll get to that another time.
The Big 12 championship, BYU versus Texas, number 11 BYU versus number 4 Texas. Texas stomps BYU 34-7. I was rooting for BYU here just because I thought it would be our best chance at getting 2 teams in the college football playoff. BYU looked really good coming out in the beginning of that game. I was like, Texas Tech, watch out. Here they come. And then they just petered out, and Texas Tech took over the game. So Muff's thoughts on this game were that Texas Tech is a wagon and proves that they are worthy of a top spot in the college football playoff. I can echo that. We went down to the WVU Texas Tech game, and while it wasn't a great game weather-wise or for WVU fans, Texas Tech just looked good. They had it together. So I think that they have a chance to make a little noise there. So we'll see how it goes.
I think so. I moved the line a little bit. I had BYU plus 17.5, and I'll tell you one thing: Texas Tech's offense was not good. BYU just literally kept fumbling and throwing picks, and kept giving them short fields, and it was really frustrating to watch because that 34-7 was a little bit misleading based on the 4 turnovers that BYU had and the 0 that Texas Tech had. So, mind you, if BYU doesn't turn the ball over, that's a much closer game. Texas Tech's offense these days is really scaring me. They're okay, but they're just not we'll call what Muff said. They're not the wagon that people I think they are, but their defense and their front defensive line and their linebackers make plays, and they are really good. So again, defensively, they're probably up there with the best team in the country. Offensively, I think they have a lot to work on for the playoff. If they,
you know what they say
compete.
though, defense wins championships.
Correct.
Jim?
Sure.
Nate?
If I had to hear them say something about the no stone zone again when Texas on offense, when we get down the red zone, we call it the no stone or whatever the hell the kicker's name is. No field goals. It's well, kind of needed him.
You're going to need them in the football playoff because you'll be playing a lot of top-tier defenses, not all Big 12 defenses.
Right.
So, all right, going into the SEC championship, that was number 3 Georgia versus number 9 Alabama. Georgia runs away with this one 28-7. I thought it objectively was a terrible showing from Alabama.
Yeah.
I'll let someone else give thoughts first, and then I'll give Muff's thoughts.
Alabama looked like dog shit, and Georgia act like they were there to play. I mean, I don't understand how Alabama made the playoffs.
Yep. They played like shit the last 2 games, and no one gave them any. They didn't knock them at all. They just said, "All right, you're good. Don't worry. Free passes." They didn't deserve to get in based on how they played the last week, the last month of the season.
Yep.
Muff's thoughts were that Georgia dominates on defense and looks to continue this trend in the playoff. Shades of Carson Beck quarterback play with Hunter Stockton. I was watching I don't know, like I was watching about Gunnar Stockton getting like cattle for Christmas and like his farming and all of that. I was like, I kind of like this guy. And I still don't like Georgia, and I hope they lose immediately. But
I will say Georgia's, to Muff's point, Georgia's defense has took a turn the last like month. They've been lights out, where early in the year their defense was not very good.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be a force to be working with. It seems like they're peaking at the right time, and we'll see what happens. But their offense, I don't really trust. So we'll see.
Nate, any thoughts?
I thought Georgia looked a lot like Georgia of old, and that's not somebody I want to play right now.
Agreed. In the Big Ten, we had number 2 Indiana at number 1 Ohio State. Indiana takes this one away 13-10. Before I let the Ohio Homers talk, I'll give you Muff's thoughts. Charlie B from Nashville, Tennessee, in parentheses, Gus Johnson again does too much, in parentheses. Google Signetti now, in parentheses, Big Ten champion. Indiana, year 2 of Signetti, 3-star quarterback, likely to win the Heisman, first conference title since 1967, 72nd talent rank per 247 Sports.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jim. Take it away.
Good win by Indiana. Solid win by Indiana. I mean, I told you before the game, they were coming for blood. They wanted to win. I think the kicker for Ohio State. I am not a guy who wants to lambaste a college kid, but not a good kicker. Not a good kicker.
Yeah.
I think we played conservative, which again, I said it in the beginning. I think the play calling was questionable for Ohio State. Not taking anything away from Indiana, they played really, really good, especially in that second half. I'm not a fan of the quarterback at all for Indiana. He'll win the Heisman for it. I don't think he's a Heisman level quarterback, but Sand didn't do anything that was. He looked confused out there. He looked lost out there in some of those coverages.
Like a true first-year starter.
Yeah, and that's what he looked at. To be fair, that's the first game he looked like that. But I said it, and I think in our group chat, the Rutgers game and the OU game was 2 games that I was like, but they were playing Rutgers and OU. They had that performance against Indiana, who is the number 1 team in the nation now.
And against Michigan, that didn't happen because we ran the ball at will down their throat, and Sayan didn't have to make plays when the run game wasn't working. On 3rd and long, 2nd and long, they had to against Indiana, and he couldn't get it done.
Questionable shit in the run game during Indiana. Like, did Donaldson even touch the ball? But once we ran West and Jackson all game. We didn't have a 3 running back attack like we have most games. On 3rd and 1, we brought in every tight end and did a pass play. Instead of, we ran down the ball both those drives. Like, we ran it down their throats, and then, we're going to pass on 3rd and 1. We tried to do.
Just looked at the box score, Jim. Donaldson had no rushing attempts.
Insane. And he's our bigger back as far as length goes. And then you look at, what was I saying? You look at our tush push with Julian Sayin, that's not the guy to do that with. Like, we have a very mobile quarterback with Keenholz, and we tried that out in the Rutgers game, and he didn't even see the field. We have all these little wrinkles that we tried all year, and in the big game, we were like, no, we're going to go back to the shut it down mode, almost like we were load managing.
I'll tell you, that game went exactly how I thought it would. I thought the spot for Ohio State was awful. They finally beat Michigan. Not to say they're out partying and all that, but that was definitely a massive win for them. They haven't beat them in 4 years. Like, they probably celebrated that for a couple days. Quick turnaround for a Big Ten game. Big Ten championship game. Indiana has had this game circled on their calendar. Signetti wanted this game. They probably talked about it since they beat Oregon because they haven't had a game since. Yeah.
They have
So
been.
the spot was just terrible. The line even said it. The line went from 4.5 down to 3. So again, it's just one of those things. Now, if Ohio State Indiana meet in the semifinals of the finals of the college football playoff, I guarantee Ohio State beats them. I don't know. I'm not going to put a score out there, but I think they lead most of the game and probably win the game because the mindset's just way different. Not to say that the kids didn't care about the Big Ten championship. Ryan Day has never won a Big Ten championship, so he wanted it more than anyone. But you got to get the players, and they obviously had their mindset on Michigan and the college football playoff championship. And I think you'll see the best of Ohio State to come in the playoff. That's my take.
I question that. You want my God's honest?
I think they're too talented not to just bring it when they need to.
With
gotta
the way
buy.
the bracket is set up, I'm glad that we're not number 1. I will say that.
What are
We
your
have
thoughts on
Miami
the
and A&M
people,
winner of Miami A&M, right? We'll get there, but
say what are your thoughts on the people that say this is the most meaningless 1 versus 2 matchup ever?
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
what does that question mean per se? Like what meaningless meaning like ranking wise it didn't matter. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, but
yeah, people are like, oh yeah, you win their conference championship game, but you're either going to be number 1 or number 2 in the playoff, and you're chasing a national championship, not a Big Ten championship.
Yes,
think,
but
go ahead, Alex.
I was just going to say yes, but there's still some glory in winning a Big Ten championship and going on to the national championship.
Sure.
But I think that means more to Indiana than it does Ohio State.
That's exactly what well, go ahead, Jim.
I agree with that. I also think that it's not either one of those teams' faults that the playoff committee is a bunch of morons. In my head, at the end of that game, Ohio State should have been 3. They should have dropped. And then you're looking at Ohio State playing Ole Miss instead of Ohio State playing who are they catching now?
It's A&M or Miami, winner of.
Right. I think it would have mattered if the playoff committee did it the way they should have.
So you thought Georgia should have went to 2?
Yes, they won their conference.
No.
They should have gone up.
But does that go back to the argument of are we punishing Ohio State then for losing an extra game?
There should be reward for winning your conference.
So basically, they would just be the victim of someone else's reward.
Yeah. I don't care.
Other teams were. BYU was victimized. They lost in their conference title game. They shot down. We'll get there, but
Jim, what if they fell to 4 behind Texas Tech and Georgia?
I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, because they're both conference winners.
You're rewarding the winners.
I just think we're at the point where the conference title games are going to go away because
I believe it will.
They don't matter. Like you just do a regular season conference champion, boom, no extra game for it. That's what it's going to come down to.
I don't think you can say they don't matter because look at the ACC.
But that's a product of the stupid system. But we got to remember we're also going to an expanded playoff.
You think it goes to 16?
I think it's going to.
I do too.
There's too much money there.
Yep. Just get rid of the buys and have extra games.
Yep.
All right. We have one more conference to touch on, the ACC championship. That was Duke versus number 17, Virginia. This was an overtime thriller. Duke took the victory 27-20.
Muff's thoughts are asinine.
Muff's thoughts, the most exciting game of the day, and it's the one everyone was overlooking due to the Big Ten championship. In parentheses, yes, I stayed up to watch the whole thing, in parentheses.
So he wasn't watching the Big Ten and he was watching the ACC, or was he watching both?
He was looking for chaos. If you know Muff, he wanted to see the drama so that we have something to talk about in the whole shakeup of the playoff. Muff is an agent of chaos.
I don't know that I've ever looked at Muff and thought you're an agent of chaos.
Because you have a different view of Muff. I've been friends with this motherfucker forever.
Muff likes to poke the bear.
Right. And this was his version of poking the bear. He loves the chaos. He loves it, especially if it has nothing to do with his world.
That's fair. Maybe he likes chaos in other areas.
Yeah,
I'm
he
thinking of
loves
Muff
it.
as
He
in
loved every part of this.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's look at the college football playoff bracket. We've alluded to it a couple times, but it breaks down as such. I'll go from the bottom. Number 12, James Madison. Number 11, Tulane. Number 10, Miami. Number 9, Alabama. Number 8, Oklahoma. Number 7, Texas A&M. Number 6, Ole Miss. Number 5, Oregon. And your top 4 are number 4, Texas Tech. Number 3, Georgia. Number 2, Ohio State. And number 1, Indiana.
Pretty obvious the topic of conversation is Notre Dame, Miami. So I'll let one of you guys start as I think about what I want to say.
I disagree that it's that obvious. I think it's funny. I think the Tulane and James Madison entries and the fact we're stuck with that because umpteen years ago we said that we enjoyed the non-powers being in the conversation because Boise made a lot, and we forget about that. We all say, "Oh well, it's because Boise had a hell of a run in the BCS, and we were big fans of that. We enjoyed that as our entertainment value. But now that we're in the playoff system, we are all like, well, I guess we have to have Tulane and James Madison because we said years ago we liked these underdogs being in the bracket, but we don't. We don't enjoy this. We don't like the way it works. We don't like how these two teams are going to fall in the bracket. We hate it. But nobody wants to talk about that elephant in the room. We take those two teams out, Notre Dame gets in, and BYU gets in, and we have a bracket that we all would enjoy from a competitive level.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that. We're all going to be like, well, Notre Dame's sitting out. It's not, I don't blame Notre Dame.
I don't know. I'm just not that kind of person that's gonna say like we didn't get our way and we're gonna sit out. Now there are certain teams that were 5-7 that are sitting out, but you shouldn't be making a bowl game with 5 wins. So they already sent their kids home or did whatever they were gonna do. So they're not gonna bring them back and be like, oh yeah, we'll play the bowl game. But Notre Dame thought they were in the playoff. They're preparing as if they have another game, and now they're just gonna cry and sit out. I don't like that mindset.
You're arguing it from a position of an old man on the porch. And I don't mean you're an old man on the porch. You're arguing it from a position of, well, we want to see football. And why wouldn't you play, damn it?
What's the benefit to sitting out? Quitting? Or is there like an actual benefit?
Bullshit now. And they're revealing the curtain. Hey, this is a money grab. We're paying kids millions of dollars. The networks are making millions of dollars. Conferences are making millions of dollars for a game that doesn't fucking matter. Either we're a part of the machine or we're not.
Now there's all kinds of stuff with the ACC now because the Miami dogged them and posts and stuff, and now the Notre Dame's all mad at the ACC, who they're members of the ACC and everything but football. Right. And there's rumors that they're going to leave the conference now and go somewhere else. And
yeah, you love us. You love Notre Dame's money. You love the notoriety we bring. You champion us, except football, and you put your people over us. You should have either been equal across the board. Like, I hate Notre Dame. Don't get it twisted. But, like, I don't blame them for standing on business. Like, this machine.
So every year now Notre Dame doesn't make the playoff. They're not playing in any bowl game. Is that what we're getting at?
Yeah, or is that what every team's going to do now?
Why not?
Then just get rid of bowls.
Yeah, I said that in the beginning. When we went to the playoff, to the bracket, we can go back to episodes. What is the point of the bowls?
It used to be where before kids, kids were always making money, but before kids were legally allowed to get paid to play, they used to give the kids like gifts to go to these bowl games. They'd get Beats headphones and
PlayStation
and PlayStation, and maybe even money. But I mean, my point is they'd get stuff to go to these games, and it was like a vacation. Now all they care about is going pro and making money and whatever. So yeah, bowl games are literally dead.
I'm not going to play an extra game that has no real bearing and break my leg and ruin my chances of going pro. What's the point?
I think if we have bowl games and they exist and you're taking NIL money, you need to play, and I don't believe schools should be allowed to just opt out.
Okay. So
have
I
to.
do.
I'm
You're
not
right. You're right, but I think they are in these NIL contracts where they have to play in the bowl games, like it's in there. But if the team opts out, that doesn't occur anymore, which is
That's what
literally
I'm
a loophole.
That's what
a
I'm
loophole.
saying. I don't
Yeah.
think that teams should be allowed to opt out. I think that you either have them or you don't. I don't like the opting out. You either have
All
bowl
right,
games
Alex,
or you
let me
don't.
ask you this. If that bowl game,
Mhm.
if you opt out, if that team opts out of the bowl game and you can save, let's call it $500,000. Let's not make it ridiculous. $500,000 in NIL money for the next year to spend on NIL the following year. Do you care?
I think no. That my point is, if we are going to continue with bowl games, then
Uh-huh.
then the rule should be you play in the bowl game if you get in a bowl game, no opting out if you're taking money. If we're saying you can opt out, then I don't think we should have them at all because then I think they're just stupid.
Can a player opt out? Like, let's say,
If you don't get NIL money, yes. But if you're getting
so
paid to play,
Texas versus Michigan in the Citrus Bowl. If a player for Texas decides they're going to opt out because they're going to go to the draft.
No, if you are making money and you are a professional and they're saying they're paying you for your name and likeness and playing, you play in the bowl game.
Or you have to give something back.
I'm not arguing with you saying that bowls are dead, but I'm saying if we're going to continue to do them, that's how I think they should be. If they're saying, no, we don't really care what happens in them, then why are we doing them at all?
But the bowls aren't benefiting the students.
Then get rid of them.
But the conferences and the schools are the only people that benefit, so why would they?
They're also paying these players to be there. The school is investing money in players in order to return money. So we're saying we're going to put the best product forward because we're paying for it. If that's the case, I want all of my top players playing in this bowl game. If not, I'm paying you, and then I'm not making any money because no one's going to watch this bowl game because all of my top players aren't playing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see your argument.
Just get rid of them at this point.
Like I said, that's fine. I'm fine with that. If you're saying that's the answer, I don't really disagree with you.
I think you run a separate bracket like the basketball.
Like an NIL.
Yeah.
NIT.
Sorry, yeah.
A not in tournament.
Yes, exactly.
I think you run a separate bracket.
One note on here about Alabama. There have been 16 conference championship losers that were ranked in the top 25 entering their conference championship game. 15 of the 16 losers dropped in the next poll. Bama is the exception.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's absolute bullshit.
I mean, yeah, it's if I guess, yeah, I don't know. It's really bullshit. They were bad the last month of the year.
I think ESPN's tie to the college football playoff needs to be investigated. I think that's another huge issue. Their influence on this is massive. The selection shows on ESPN, like, this is a system that's rigged towards the SEC or heavily leaned, if we don't like the word rigged.
No arguments here.
What other network would you put the selection show on?
Put them on them all.
Or rotate it around or something?
Put them on them all. Get rid of the influence.
Like have the selection going on and then just have like separate broadcasts of it.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I have one last comment on this topic. So they do these Tuesday college football rankings for what? The last month, 2 months they did them, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And didn't all of them have Notre Dame ranked ahead of Miami? Both teams didn't play, and then Miami just randomly jumped Notre Dame. So what is that, first of all? Why are we even doing those? And my take on why they did that is because the ACC didn't have a team in, so they put Miami in to have the ACC, because if Miami were to win, they get to share the revenue with the rest of the conference, where Notre Dame takes all the revenue into their own pocket, and they didn't want that. That's
The
my
ACC
conspiracy for the day.
The ACC politicked, and that's why Notre Dame's pissed off.
Yep.
But some would say Notre Dame getting a conference, damn it. And I'm okay with that argument.
I don't think they ever will, but I guess, sure.
I'm okay with that argument. If they don't get a conference, they this is how it works. Fine. But on the other side of that coin, okay, we won't go to bowls if we're not in the thing. Fine. That's part of your independence.
All right, so Muff has a couple other thoughts here. He loves Tulane versus Ole Miss in a round 1 matchup, in parentheses, points. He's looking forward to Texas Tech IU matchup in semifinal if the chalk holds. Will Miami give any respect for the ACC in round 1? First team out, Notre Dame. We talked about that. And then he has mentioned here of the Memorandum of Understanding, the MOU agreement that goes into effect next year, which puts ND in the playoff if they're ranked in the top 12.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah, how did they get that? Like, how's that even a thing?
I don't know. I wondered that too, and I'm not smart enough to know that business stuff, but it looks bad.
It's the bullshit clause is what it is.
Again, system is rigged. I almost missed the BCS at this point. It made more sense. And you all are too young, I think. But
I remember the BCS championship, but
there was
they said a computer told us, and we were like, "Oh, a computer must be right," and we were okay with it. There's math, and a computer told us. Oh, okay. There's only 2 though, and that's what we hated. Bring back a computer that irons out 12 or 16 teams, and then the computer told us. It's when you entered in like a back room with people representing interests that it fucks it up. I mean, let's just think about it. If you put the 4 of us and Muff, that way there's no ties, and we had to pick 12 teams to be in the playoff, I guarantee we're going to keep somebody out because we don't like them.
Yeah. When you have, and the reason though that they went to this college football playoff board was because they wanted recency bias involved. They wanted eye test involved. But with that comes like the head of the college football playoffs, like the AD at Arkansas, right? Or something like that. So like it's already SEC bias right there, and he's the head of it. I don't know the answer, but you probably have to have no one involved in college football in general, but I don't even know how you do that because everyone's
I just
going
told
to be
you.
tied in.
You use a computer and then you throw 12 teams at it. That's the solve. Generate it with no bias. Get out of a back room. Don't let networks influence it. Or federal regulation.
So what do you guys think about BYU being the second team out?
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, I don't think they deserve to be in it, really. But
So why?
I-
Their 2 losses were to Texas Tech, the number 3 team in the country, twice. One of them being in an extra game. Part of me says, why are we putting I don't know. We have James Madison and Tulane.
Because those are the
You have-
rules.
you have to.
See my point?
Yeah, you have to have it's the top 5 rated conference winners.
Okay.
And Duke is a lower conference rated winner. They won the ACC than James Madison. So that's why James Madison has to be in. It was either James Madison or Duke. Had to be in.
Why? Oh, because Tulane is a group of 5.
Because, well, yeah.
Well, no, because but why are we having a second?
The rule is
Because you have to have 5 conference champions.
5 conference champions. One of them has to be a group of 5. 5 highest ranked conference champions. One has to be a group of 5. So the assumption is always the ACC will get in. Well, the ACC winner had 5 losses. So James Madison is ranked higher than Duke. So James Madison got in and Duke didn't. That's why. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah.
So if Virginia won, the mindset is Virginia would have been ranked ahead of James Madison.
Yeah.
So Virginia would be in and James Madison would not be in because you need 5 conference champions.
And then I make the argument that I think BYU needs mentioned in the whole Notre Dame Miami circle.
That's probably fair. They're getting penalized for an extra game too, for losing an extra game. That's
especially when your only loss is to the conference champion. Number 3.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm down with that. I just don't think they're a top. I don't think they're better than Notre Dame. So, but.
All right, other NCAA football bowls for bubble teams. We have Vandy versus Iowa in the ReliaQuest Bowl. Vandy suing the college football playoff, saying that they're corrupt, citing they finished the season 10-2 and won their last 4 games, but never moved a single spot during that time. Poo-poo, I don't.
But Vandy's still playing in their bowl? Wow, very nice of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have had Vandy Notre Dame in the Crybaby Bowl.
Yeah.
Texas versus Michigan in the Citrus Bowl. Penn State versus Clemson in the Pinstripe Bowl. BYU versus Georgia Tech in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. That's a fun one. At least I got a fun one. And Notre Dame in the Crybaby Bowl off to the side.
Okay,
Jim.
so of those, Vandy's going to roll. The Citrus Bowl is going to be fun to watch. I don't give a shit about the Pinstripe Bowl. Pop-Tarts Bowl I will enjoy watching. And Notre Dame.
For the game or for the Pop-Tarts?
Both.
What's your thought? I was like laughing when I saw Texas versus Michigan. I was like, I think Jim wishes no one could win that game.
No, I will enjoy watching that game a lot.
At least you get one of them gets to lose.
I want Texas to win.
I know. There's a level of hatred that,
yeah,
you know. So Heisman talk. Mendoza from Indiana is the odds-on favorite right now at minus 3,000 per FanDuel. Next, we have Diego Pavia from Vandy at plus 1,400 odds. Love from Notre Dame at plus 40,000 odds. And Sayin from Ohio State plus 50,000 odds. Mendoza's a little weird. Like
he made one. Yeah, he's a little. There's something going on there. But he made one big throw in that Ohio State game, and now he's all of a sudden the Heisman. So that's pretty cool. Must be nice.
I mean,
who else
is? What's your other argument?
To what? Who should be the Heisman?
Yeah,
I'd give it to Diego. If it's really an MVP type, again, is the MVP really the most valuable player, or is it the best player in the country? I always feel like these things are who is the most meaningful to their team, and if you took them off their team, how bad would they be? If you took Pavia off Vanderbilt, they would have lost probably 4 to 5 games, in my opinion. So, I think Indiana could have survived with another quarterback, I think, but I don't know. I like Pavia, so I thought he was the most impactful to his team.
I would say Jeremiah Smith. If we're using Nemi's logic, just Nemi's logic.
Jeremiah Smith hasn't really done anything.
Well, he gets double covered
under Nemi's logic. Now, of these,
Jim, I thought he was always open.
He's always open. Under Nemi's logic, or under the of these 4, it's going to go to Mendoza, hands down. Who it should go to of these 4, I'm with Nemi. It should go to Pavia. I mean, he basically.
How close do you think the votes are going to be?
I don't think it's going to be close. There's this Indiana love affair. It's loaded.
Those odds to make the Heisman odds are so wild. Sayin was like plus 185, and now he's 500 to 1. Like for one game, he just all of a sudden is out. Like it just doesn't. Those odds don't make. Those odds are just bait. Like Muff says, there's baiting people to bet that stuff. It's all that they were doing that whole time. Again, Mendoza could possibly not win. Like it's people are voting in an envelope. Like no one knows. just like the college football playoff. Notre Dame was
Do we think
minus
Jeremiah Love?
who?
Do we think Jeremiah Love will boycott the Heisman thing?
I think he's going to get hurt on the voting because they're sitting it out.
He can't win anyway, in my opinion. But
Yeah. No, I think that's another good point with the sitting out. If you're
See, I'd be the asshole. Like, oh, hey, thanks for not opting out of this ceremony.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. What if you weren't eligible for a Heisman if you didn't play in your bowl game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be funny now, wouldn't it? What if the whole team voted not to play and he's like, no, dude, I want to be in the Heisman.
No. Yeah. For your team.
Yeah.
I think that's why you won't win it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you get penalized. It's one less game they get to see. So if Mendoza comes out and has a great game, or Sayan comes out and has a great game, and then you're like, okay, these people are playing ahead of you. So other college football talk. Ohio State gets Chris Henry Jr. as a top recruit.
Big win.
I knew there was no hope of him going to WVU, but I loved hanging on to that like thread of light that I saw that he would follow in his dad's footsteps. But I knew
publicly apologized to you.
Yeah.
I publicly apologized because I came strong at you.
You did come. I just ignored it because I could tell I don't think you really were understanding the situation.
I did not.
Strong.
So I did some research after I came at you, and I apologize.
Yeah, I was like, I just got an F you, Alex, and I was like, well, all I did was be sad that my player didn't come to WV.
Yeah, I came way too guns hot at you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just didn't engage. I was like, well, he clearly is confused. Muff seems to have handled it. I'm just going to move on with my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was talking to my dad, and I was like, but what if we get Chris Henry Jr.? He's like, you do. I mean, like, he's like, come on, buddy. Like, you know that's not going to happen, right? I was like, but what if?
Yeah.
It was like little kid Alex kind of just like investing, but you'll have that. WVU has the highest ranked recruiting class in the Big 12 and is in top 20 in the nation. So
how do you feel about Rich Rod for that?
I think that this is where Rich Rod shines. I mean, he is a good recruiter, and he also is good at going out and finding the people that other people don't want. Like, he's willing to take risks on people that maybe got like shirked by another team but still had potential, and then he develops them into diamonds. So I'm interested to see how it goes. I wish he would have had a better showing against Texas Tech in the last game. If we would have ended on a higher note than that, I would have actually had a lot of like positive feelings going into the next year. I mean, obviously our record is low, but we also rebuilt a team completely. I think towards the end of the season, we started to peak and showed some promise, which made me feel good about it. It just kind of sucks we ended on that 49-0 loss, but at the same time, you're playing number 3 team in the country who's going to the college football playoff. So I'm not like saying that loss like really swayed my opinion on the season. It just would have been nice to see like a little bit of fight, even if we'd have scored 14 points, you know? So we'll see where it goes. I'm excited about the future and at least have something to kind of hold on hope, which is different than the Neil Brown year to year.
So I don't consider you. I know I just publicly apologized to you, and now I'm gonna bash you a minute. I don't consider you a hardcore college football fan. So I asked this next question based on that, and you can correct me. How does the transfer portal feel to you? Because if I'm you, I would be more amped now for the transfer portal than I've ever been.
I mean, if it exists, then I am excited that I think we have someone who will navigate it well and use it well. I still will hold to my thought that if you're taking NIL money, you should not be allowed to go in the transfer portal. It should be like old school rules. If you're leaving, you sit out a year, lose a year of eligibility, and then you can transfer. If you're taking NIL money from that school, I feel like to me that is a commitment to I'm going to play football here. You will pay me
This
money.
is why I don't think you're a hardcore college football fan. You're such a grandpa. You were such a grandpa.
That's
But
fine.
no, I think that is coming.
I love it.
That's going to come in the NIL. It's going to be like, all right, if you want this deal, you're signing it for X amount of years, even if it's just 2.
Yeah, or you're leaving college football or going to the NFL draft. I don't even have a problem saying you sign this for 4 years, but if you go to the draft after 2, fine. Like I get advancing yourself and doing better. I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with saying I'm going to go to Alabama and I'm going to take $1 million, and then the next year I'm going to go to Georgia and I'm going to take $1 million, and then you're going to go here and take $1 million. I'm like, no, you play for a school, you sign up and you play. I think that brings back I think that's what's like. That's why I'm sad about the era of college football now. I miss the days of like seeing a person develop over the years and stay with a team and try to get a national championship with the team, and it's yeah.
Okay.
He said sorry. Then he called you a name, little old grandpa man. So
I
I
you
only
can't
call
you
it old
can't you
grandpa.
can't have everything.
Honestly,
Alex.
it's not just the college football world. I get called old grandpa man in a lot of areas of my life, so I've just accepted it.
I think that WVU has a potential. I don't know if the chances are, but they have the potential to really shine. I wish the donors would understand that and back them to the moon.
Our best years of football at WVU were way before the transfer portal was a thing.
But now you have the opportunity to capitalize and be just a juggernaut.
Like I said, since it exists, I think Rich Rod will play it well.
How do you feel about Pat McAfee?
What about him?
I mean, he was, for lack of better terms, on Indiana's dick at the Big Ten
He lives
championship.
in Indiana now. I mean, he's an Indianapolis guy. I don't have any feelings towards that. He's going to play.
But you have an opportunity with him to where he could put some money in the old. He does. Portnoy of WVU.
He does.
He does.
McAfee contributes to NIL for WVU.
But he could be the Portnoy of WVU.
You don't want to be Portnoy.
He can buy you a quarterback.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah, no. He contributes to WVU's NIL. He was trying to get that was why Henry announced on his podcast is because of all their WVU
he didn't
time.
Get you, Henry.
Well, Henry wasn't going to go to WVU. He's the best player in the country. They're not going to go to West Virginia.
Portnoy gave $20 million for Bryce.
5.
Yeah, look how that paid off.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong.
So far, but
yeah, does Portnoy give like millions of dollars away to college students every week though?
He does.
So no, I don't feel any type of way about that. He was all over Indiana. He has notoriously lived in Indiana now for a while. I don't have a problem with it. He is very outspoken about his WVU fandom. He briefly is on Indiana's the hype train because he's a performer and he needs that. But I don't. Whereas if it came down to it, $1 million, he said you have to give it to one school or the other. I would have zero doubt in my mind it would go to WVU.
Okay.
So, last bit of college football news: Georgia's NIL collective is suing former defensive end Damon Wilson for $390,000 because he transferred to Missouri and violated his agreement. What standard and issues will this set if Georgia wins? I feel like we just covered this.
But if he agreed to that, I have no problem with the Alex stance. Like if he agreed to go X number of dates, times, whatever, if he failed to fulfill his agreement, sorry, buddy, you got to pay that.
Yeah, I mean, he transferred knowing he was going to owe that back. So
yeah, too bad, bud.
Put that in more contracts.
It's like it's like signing a sign-on bonus.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you leave, you pay it back.
I'm good with it.
All right. Any other thoughts on college football?
I don't think so. We'll probably the next coming weeks we'll talk about the actual games themselves. I haven't really thought about or dove into any of them potentially. So
yeah. So. All right. Looking into the NFL, we started with Thursday night football. The Cowboys versus the Lions. The Lions win 44-30. Jahmyr Gibbs has 3 rushing touchdowns and ties Barry Sanders with 47 touchdowns in the first 3 seasons. George Pickens' effort in question again.
Yeah.
I think George Pickens is just who George Pickens is.
He looks to be dogging it. I don't know why you're dogging it in a game of that magnitude, though. So I can't.
He's a diva. He doesn't care about the team. He cares about himself.
Yeah. So the Georgie will always be Georgie.
Yep. Oh, we have our first TikTok interruption.
Got me.
Next, going into Sunday games.
Wow, Jim, are we boring you that much?
He doesn't really care about the NFL very much.
I really don't.
Dolphins 34, Jets 10. Too little, too late for a Dolphins run.
Nah,
Yeah,
they're playing well, but yeah, I don't think they'll make the playoff or anything.
too little, too
A
late.
Chain's banged up too now.
All right, looking at the Steelers 27, Ravens 22, the Isaiah Likely touchdown called back. Nate, what do you think about that?
I agree with my boss, Gene.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, Nate's
that
getting a
was-
little laggy. Here we come.
Yeah, no, I know we took too long on college football.
There we go.
Finally. So the Isaiah Likely caught a touchdown. It was overturned, said it was incomplete. I don't know. In real time, it looked incomplete, but I don't know all the intricacies of saying like
We
how
gotta
long did
get
he
to
have
the
to hold
next
on
one.
to
We
it?
don't care. We got to get Nate's feedback on the next one.
Listen,
It's in the notes. Do what Muff says.
if you want to be in charge of this next time, you be in charge of this. Steelers get an unlikely win and put themselves in the driver's seat for the AFC North. The remaining opponents for the Steelers are the Dolphins, Lions, and Browns. And for the Ravens are the Bengals, Patriots, Packers, Steelers. Both teams will need to show up every week. The schedule here slightly favors the Steelers. We'll see how they move forward. Since Jim doesn't want me to talk about my team anymore, we'll move on to the Saints 24, Bucks 20. Bucks 2 for 7 on fourth down.
Nate,
What are we asking Nate about here? Just the Bucks in
Quick
general?
going for it on fourth down.
should Todd Bowles be on? Should his seat
Yes.
be on fire?
Yes, it should be on fire.
2 of their final 4 games against their co-division leader, Carolina.
So what do you think, Nate? What are our chances here?
They've got to take care of business. 3 out of their last 4 are divisional games. 2 against the Panthers, 1 against the Falcons. You started 5-1, and now you're 7-6. So yeah, I think Todd Bowles, you need to be on the hot seat. You let Tyler Shuck rush for 2 touchdowns on your defense that apparently you call the plays for, and your team has had no receivers hardly show up the past couple of weeks. I get it, we're hurt. Evans is coming back this week. McMillan's coming back this week. So now it's a 4-game regular season to see if we can make it to the playoffs.
Baker's been a little bit hit or miss these days too, but he's got a banged up O line. Wirfs didn't play, and receivers missing, and Ibuka dropping.
Yeah,
TD.
I didn't realize Wirfs was going to be inactive. Wirfs apparently had an oblique injury. I guess he partied too hard from celebrating that touchdown last week or something. I don't know.
All right. Jaguars 36, Colts 19. Daniel Jones has an Achilles injury, and the Jags have won their last 4 and sit atop the AFC South.
Feeling real good about the Jags.
Yeah, they're good.
Feel bad for Daniel Jones.
Feeling real
Alex,
bad.
why don't you go back and talk about
Colts
your
are dead.
Nope. Jim said we're not allowed to talk about them. Titans 31, Browns 29. The Browns 2-point conversion attempt without Shadur Sanders in the game. I don't understand the Browns. The Browns gonna Brown.
Yeah, I'm allowed to talk about my Browns, but you're not allowed to talk about your Steelers.
That's how it works. I'll give you approximately 2 minutes, and then I'll cut you off.
There you go.
All right. Well, that game was weirdly high scoring. The over-under was 33.5, and the Titans almost covered that by themselves. It's a little weird. And it was like snowing and windy. But anyway, Shadur played really well, I thought.
Shadur!
Mind you, a lot of his passing yards were on a screen pass to Judkins, but he still played really well. All things considered, the Browns defense did not. They appear to be in tank mode. Shadur announced today that he's the starter for the rest of the season. At least I'll be watching the games and be entertained. We'll see how good he does, but should be interesting. And I think that's about it.
The Vikings took down the Commanders 31-0. JJ McCarthy and Jaden Daniels return, but JJ gets the W. But Jefferson still a pedestrian game. How long can this last?
Not very long.
Seahawks took down the Falcons 37-9. No real notes there. The game happened. It was bad for the Falcons. Seahawks won. Bengals, Bills. Bills won 39-34 in an exciting and high-scoring game in the exact weather that we want to and expect to see Buffalo play in the late in the season here. Burrow had 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Allen had 4 total touchdowns and no interceptions. So, touchdown galore, but Burrow with 2 interceptions doesn't help his cause in a close game. Bengals were up
Yeah.
going into the end of the game, and the Bills surged back and took it. So,
Yeah, a lot of it
we'll
was
see the
because of the
Bengals.
turnovers that Burrow had in the second half.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bengals will always be in these shootouts the rest of the year. Bills defense is not. Bills just don't impress me this year. Their offense takes games off, and their defense takes games off, and I don't know. They're gonna have to figure some stuff out here in the last 4 weeks because I don't think they're a top 4 team right now. So
Yeah, no, I'd
But the
agree. I
Patriots
like them. I
next
root
week.
for them. I want to see them do well. They're a fun team to watch, fun fan base to root for. But right now, it's not looking great.
no.
Patriots next
Broncos.
week. Patriots. I'm excited
Broncos
for that game.
24, Raiders 17. Late cover by Kenny Pickett for the Raiders. Dave Portnoy calls for imprisonment for the Raiders for kicking a field goal with under 10 seconds left as the final point of the game.
Didn't he call for the death?
Yeah,
Pete Carroll?
he told. Yes, he did say something like that.
Not great.
What else were they supposed to do? Just throw a Hail Mary into the end zone? Like, I mean, they had to run a play. It was untimed down because of a penalty. So, if you, I mean, I don't know. If you throw Hail Mary in the end zone, you don't win anyway. So what? I don't know if it's actually rigged because of that, but I understand why people who bet the Broncos might be pissed off. But I don't agree with the rigging there.
Yeah, as a Broncos better, I mean, at this point, the game, it was a 10-point game. You have to have a touchdown and a field goal. So they're saying get the field goal first and then see if you can get a touch. You know what I mean? You need one or the other.
You need both if you want to win the game.
Yeah, but right there in that moment, you need one or the other. If you go for the touchdown and don't get it, the game's over 100%. So I don't know.
Well, no, they covered. The line was 7.5.
Yeah.
So that's why they were pissed because they were winning.
I get why they're pissed. I'm just saying I don't know that there's enough evidence there that kicking the field goal wasn't just like a random act of covering.
Right. I agree with that.
So Packers 28, Bears 21. Packers take control of the NFC North. Jordan Love has a solid game, but same for Caleb Williams. Looks like a couple of good teams that can compete for the NFC crown here. I watched this game. It was the one on. And they both did look good. It was an entertaining game to watch.
Can we talk about how the Bears went from number 1 in their division to 7?
There's 4 teams in their division, so that's a rough fall from grace.
I don't mean their conference, if you will.
I know, it's just being a butthead because you're a butthead.
You're a butthead.
The Rams 45, Cardinals 17. Have a day, Puka Nacua. Get back strong point for the Rams. What do you think the Cards are going to end up doing with Kyler Murray?
He's gone.
Yeah.
Where does he end up?
Nowhere. The couch playing Call of Duty.
The Browns.
Yeah, honestly.
Maybe actually, but no, because they already said Watson's on the team next year, and that's $50 million. So we're not paying anyone else. So
I think Kyler Murray could maybe be a backup somewhere, but I think his days of being a good starting quarterback.
Colts.
Unless Daniel Jones comes back healthy, I think it's Daniel Jones' team.
Well, he's done. Well, they'd have to re-sign him.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think it's his team to come back to. If I'm the Colts, I'm going to offer him a deal.
Wasn't that like a week ago that the rumor was Daniel Jones going to go to the Vikings in the offseason or something? Oh, there's another team he could go to, by the way. But
yeah. There's potential there, but yeah, I think the Cardinals, it's time for them to move on from him. If I'm a Cardinals fan. But Texans 20, Chiefs 10. Chiefs eliminated. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say so. Good game, though, for the Texans.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with the Texans' defense.
No, that defense is nasty, huh, Jim?
Very nasty.
Rashee Rice got what was the funny thing? That's got hit by a car, or he got hit by a car or something. He got absolutely destroyed in the open field.
Yeah.
All right, and live looking at the Eagles Chargers.
Nate?
Oh no.
Eagles are first and goal, about to tie the game.
Oh.
That was
It was just a little delayed, but you did come through. You did come through.
It was delayed. You finished talking, and then we heard your voice. Yeah, Nemi, how you looking?
I'm looking okay. Jalen Hurts. So I'm looking okay at the moment. So
Nemi is
I don't want to talk about it. We're gonna cross our fingers. I don't want to come in last. I don't want to make a calendar of myself. I don't want to wear a dress to a golf event. So
no T's and
don't
P's.
want to come in last in my fantasy league. I need Saquon to play like shit.
Yeah, so we're just doing some T's and P's for Nemi on the backside, but we're not talking about it's like the no hitter. Moving on out of the NFL, we have other interesting news in sports. I will do the golf one. Scotty finally lost. Hideki won in a playoff against Alex Noren. And that is Golf Talk with Sports Stuff and Jim and Muff.
Good job.
Jim, you're in charge of this UFC note.
I put the notes on. Jim can use them if he wants.
Oh.
Go ahead, Nemi. Go ahead.
Yeah, Nemi, you're
so
good.
I watched this card. It was actually a really good card. So in the co-main event, Pantoja was slammed to the ground by Joshua Van in, like, I would say under a minute left, or under a minute into the fight, and he tried to brace his fall with his arm, and his elbow dislocated and snapped, and that was the end of that fight. So Joshua Van wins the belt due to a TKO. Whoop, there he goes. Due to a TKO. Peter Yan defeated Marab. I'm not going to even try to pronounce the name. Divilishi or something like that. To claim the bantamweight belt. Marab, after the fight, claims that he had a broken hand in training and had neurovirus. So, you lose the fight, and then all the excuses come out. You got to love when that stuff happens. But
yeah,
both underdogs won on the last pay-per-view card as we go to Paramount Plus. No more pay-per-view.
There you go.
All right.
Any other notes? Any other topics to talk about?
I don't think so. Tune in on Wednesday of the betting show. We all had a good week.
Yeah.
All the picks had a good week.
Nemi, I'm not comfortable with you winning so much.
Yeah, let's do it, Jim. Woo! Trying to chase Jim down. So we'll see how close I can get on Wednesday.
All right. Well, in order to keep taking this rocket ship to the moon, we need to, first of all, comment, subscribe. Comment, subscribe. Wait, rate, comment, subscribe, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding.
Ding.
Let me try it again. Hold on. You have to comment, subscribe, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Comment, subscribe, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding, ding.
All right. Thankfully, Muff will be back on Wednesday, guys. Please keep listening. I promise this won't happen all the time. Just every once in a while. You have to tell a friend, make a friend, be a friend.